Another day of fun. Yay! No. Whatever. Oh, video. Sorry. Yeah, forgot. Making a video. Everybody be quiet. I'm making a video. Hasn't been too many cicadas this year. Next year's the big year. The huge year. The monster bugs will be taking over this entire forest. It'll be just bugs. It'll be incredible fun. I can't wait. Anyway, yeah, 2012. Yeah, everything will be going apocalyptic. That'll be perfect timing and such. Anyway, where am I? Oh, if I have to survive the winter, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can live another winter. Nope. That's depressing. Anyway, where was I? Video. Oh yeah, gratex made a video. Wasn't horrible. I mean, the same old kind of theme, you know, not the same old, but I mean, the theme that I've gone over before too. How do you do this organizing thing? Get all these people sort of motivated to live in a better world, but we really can't get a damn thing done. And the nasties keep winning. The liars and the cheaters, the Obamas and the Reagans and the Bushes, all the rest of those liars and cheaters and fuckwits in the Congress, the Ron Pauls, the game players, the whatevers, rule the world. And we don't seem to somehow be able to stop them for some reason. Yet the wackos, the crazies, you know, the people who would vote for a Palin or one of those teabagger lunatics, somehow they're able to organize. It's weird. Anyway, but I guess they're motivated by a kind of, oh, who knows? You know, there's no even point in talking about it. I mean, they can't even be motivated by a frustration just because the world's a lot more fucked up to their advantage than to ours. I mean, the world is nothing like I would envision it to be or want it to be. And those assholes are the ones that are the complacent ones. They're the ones that are feeding on the blood of the workers and the rest of it. Well, anyway, to get to the point. So my vision is kind of like, the problem is that you can do the issue thing, but you can't do the ideology thing. Like, we could find policy that we could agree on. You know, just carefully written policy. Something, well, if you're going to subsidize people giving birth to babies, I would argue you might as well subsidize abortion. So, yeah, I would let Medicare and Medicaid pay for abortions. If they're going to pay for birthing, they might as well pay to stop it before we have the disaster of the mouth to feed and comfort and care for and educate, and then, you know, all the bullshit that goes with that. Just makes sense. Oh, frankly, I'd be for, you know, publicly financed abortions, even if we weren't financing birth or subsidizing birth. But that's a whole different point. But the point is that you can have issues, and you can cut it so fine in terms of policy that you can get everybody to agree with it, because it's so carefully constructed. It's just basically saying, well, if, you know, then, you know, that kind of argument. You know, if we can't stop the military-industrial complex and you insist on wasting billions of dollars, then at least, well, I don't even know what I can do with that. The army should blow itself up. Yeah, maybe that. We should declare war on the Pentagon. Ow! Oh, motherfucker. If there's any benefit to the military, then we'll also reap the benefit of it. And, you know, we can kill our own soldiers. That way we won't have to pay them. We won't have to pay half of them. Yeah, so they have to be dead. It'd be great. Anyway, this isn't where I wanted to go with this. The point is that we can offend each other. I guess I just probably did. When we talk about our ideology. But policy can be inert from these disturbing influences. And so what we need is a way to organize that's completely separate from organization. Like where you're organized only for that specific purpose. and you're not obliged to agree with all the other crap that would go along with it. I personally don't have a real passion for this whole government-financed healthcare crap, just because, I mean, I'd be for it if it was for some minimum, some lifetime amount that you were entitled to, and that's it. But this idea of just giving people carte blanche to, you know, go to the doctor and say, I need this, and I want a liver, and I want this, and I want that, you know, gets into be hundreds of thousands of dollars. And no, I'd rather have a house than $100,000 worth of health care. So for my priorities, fuck it. Yeah, that's how I look at it. And it goes for all these other, you know, there's just so many other things that are just separate from all these, like a teacher. So I'm not for the teachers union. I'm very liberal, but I'm for private industry unions, but I'm totally against government unions, government employee unions. I'm for constitutional amendments protecting the rights of workers, guaranteeing their rights. You know, not union extortion. It's bullshit. Well, anyway, so there's a difference between policy and ideology, and a difference between, you know, not everything is liberal or conservative. I'm against deficit spending, so I mean, in that sense, I'm with the conservatives. So it's that kind of thing. So you gotta get rid of those, the divisiveness of forcing me, pigeonholing me into a camp of liberal policies that I wouldn't support. And I think through that mechanism of doing it by policy, you can gain more support for specific policies and just organize people around that specific issue and that objective, like the right to die, for example. I think that's a winner if we could get it put to a vote. I think people, there's enough Republicans and enough Democrats who are for liberalized rights to control one's own graceful exit for that to win. And it just doesn't happen because, you know, it just doesn't, the organization doesn't get done and the policy doesn't get written. And so there's got to be some way to make that something a party isn't going to be willing to go for, but something the people would be. I guess it's the problem. The Democrats don't have the balls to fight for it, and it's not a majority issue for the Republicans. It's only their libertarian wing that might support it. But anyway, I'm sort of getting off the subject, which is how to create this organization, this organizing organization. Yeah. So basically, the idea, I think, is to just create a charity that has only one mission, and maybe that is to send the message out. You know, create infomercials or whatever, statements, public announcements, propaganda, whatever you want to call it, video productions, you know, both short, very short, 30-second commercials, 15-minute commercials, that would be self-financing, and that hopefully they would solicit enough money to finance themselves and be their own engine of getting the job done. And you just create a mechanism through which people can do that, where if they have $100 or $200 a year to give away, they could support the issues they support the funding of that message in some very efficient, non-bureaucratic, not a whole charity infrastructure kind of way to support a public policy initiative eventually, you know, getting on a ballot. Hey, well, at least that would be the objective. And yeah, and you do that through just creating enough noise. So anyway, for my part, so if somebody wants to look up, I'm just curious how much a 15-minute or half-hour infomercial might cost on one of the cable networks. So if somebody knows that kind of information, I would be curious, you know, at 4 o'clock in the morning or whatever. You know, maybe I can find a not-for-profit that's already 503c approved to funnel the money through. And, you know, I'll create a website of some kind and, you know, start writing up these simple messages. Maybe I'll make some videos. You know, I have enough channels, obviously, so there's enough issues out there. But the idea is to do something, you know, a little slicker, a little more polished, you know, these message videos, and see what happens. But yeah, I just don't know what else besides that you can do to organize. Yeah, I really just, this idea of it, you can't really have movements for issues. You have to have movements for ideology. And that's sort of easy, I think, for the right-wing nuts, because they just read it out of their Bible. And if it's not in their Bible, it's, you know, Ronald Reagan said it. You know, eat the poor, fuck the poor. These are all Reaganite kind of mission statements. So it's really easy for them to do their little teabag thing, put on their silly hat. They don't even understand, you know, that the Boston Tea Party, quote unquote, the tax protest, was actually cheaper tea in the Boston Harbor, not more expensive tea. But that's the joke of the whole thing. They've taken on a cause that was more about a trade war, about people owning, about people wanting to get more profits, to extract profit, than it was about the people. No one gave a shit about the people. It was just a bunch of businessmen deciding who gets to fuck the public, whether it's going to be a British dick or an American dick that fucks them. Yeah, so that's the big joke. But obviously it takes a simpleton to fall for a party like that. Yeah, I'm not going to be showing up at any feminist events, but I'm certainly going to support feminism. You know, I'm not going to show up at any "we need free health care," but I'm certainly going to support the idea that health care shouldn't be something overpriced and out of public accessibility. You know, I'm all for taking good care of kids, but I'm all against paying a bunch of way overpriced babysitters called teachers. You know, so yeah, you're not going to have me show up. You know, it's one of the little blowhards, you know, with the blowhorn. Yeah, the message has got to be a little finer than that. It's got to be a little bit more precise. You're not going to fix the world's problems with some sort of liberal axe. It's going to have to be something narrower, maybe progressive, and it's going to have to definitely be weighted in the to looking at the long-term future and not the short-term present. If you're going to waste money on Band-Aids, I'm not going to be supporting you. But if you're going to try to cure, well, you got my interest, and I think that's the way it's got to be focused. So anyway, that's probably enough of a critique. But yeah, there are, I guess, structural problems you could go into about why liberalism is harder to organize than, you know, myopic, small-sided, religious nut, Adam Smith kind of capitalist loony stuff. I mean, their ideology is too simple. Their Ayn Rand, might makes right kind of bullshit is just so simplistic that it's very easy to get a bunch of people to march in your parade. And it's a little harder to come up with unoffensive to all who might be generally supportive of specific legislation on the liberal side, because it kind of depends on what the specific legislation is. There's lots of, I don't know, there's lots of you only need to be one way to be against flag burning. There's lots of ways of supporting flag burning, or however you want to metaphor it. But the guys for the liberality, it's a lot more complicated to say you're for freedom, because it's messy. You definitely do have to say, oh yeah, except when you're going to murder somebody, or except when you're going to drunk drive, or except when you're going to, you know, you really do have to qualify those freedoms. But being against is really easy. You know, who cares? Yeah, I'm against it. Yeah, I don't care. Smack them in the head, execute them, kick them in the nuts. Yeah, I don't care. Either one of those penalties is fine with me. You know, so once you're against something, it's just about how you punish people. It's the only thing you could argue about. Yeah, so that's enough. Sorry, still a bit, but better than yesterday. Yeah, I'm in my twilight zone period. I have that about every, I don't know, 48 hours. Yeah, I'll probably be in the twilight zone more than I'm in the, whatever, the sunshine of clarity. Anyway, till next time and such, and so forth and whatnot. Off to work I go. I hope. Blah, 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 and such.